what is a safe withdrawal rate? You know, we hear that in the financial services world all the time, but what does it actually mean? For example, if the stock market's averaging 12%, why can't I pull out 12%? Maybe you've heard that on the internet recently. Well, let's talk about what the safe withdrawal rate is in the first place. There were computer models done where we had different variations of stock and bond ownership, where we were asking the computer analyst, what if I pulled out 6%? When am I going to run out of money? What about 5.5%? When am I going to run out of money? 25,000 calculations. And when I started in the 70s, that number was close to 9%. I could pull out 9% of my account average over 30-year period of time and have an 85% chance of not running out of money. Today, that number is 2.8. And it's not because the market hasn't averaged better than that. It's because of the volatility in the market. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Yes, these numbers are absolutely ridiculous. It's exaggerated, but it makes my point. If I promised you a 25% average rate of return over a 4-year period of time, you'd probably give me a lot of your money and pay me a hefty fee. Well, watch what happens. If I double your money in year 1, we lose 50% in year 2. But I double your money in year 3 and we lose 50% in year 4. That average is a 25% average rate of return, and I end up after 4 years with exactly the same amount of money I started with. Now think about that. If I'm looking at a 25% average and I tell myself that I should be able to pull out 25% because that's what the average is. Well, there's a huge difference between average and actual, but here's the point. If I used that analysis and I pulled out 25% a year, over 4 years, I have only 47% of my original investment. I'm assuming the average. I use the average to make a calculated distribution, and actual performance kills average, and I end up with so much less money. Now, for example, the computer models were to show that over a 30-year period of time, adjusted for inflation, I ended up with $1. So if I started with a bazillion, over 30 years, I wanted to end up with $1. Not the same amount of money, just $1. 85% chance of that success, but a 15% chance of failure. Even at 2.8% withdrawal. Could you imagine getting on an airplane in Chicago with a nonstop flight to Hawaii, where the captain gets on the plane and says, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining our airline. You know, this is going to be a nonstop flight and we've got an 85% chance of hitting that runway in Honolulu. And we have a 15% chance of landing in the Pacific Ocean. Now, they left the doors open for you just in case you wanted to vacate the plane, enjoy the flight. How many people would stay on that airplane? Yet even at 2.8%, we have a 15% chance of running out of money. Understand the implications of the financial choices you've made, but most important, understand the implications upon distribution. After all, the only reason we save money is to eventually spend it. Understand the rules of the game. I hope this helps.